This is potentially the start of the decay of the oceans, which is going to be the start of the decay of mankind. It needs to be taken seriously. There has to be a way of letting the world realise that this could be the beginning of the end. It's just giving us warning signs.
Anthony Rowland grew up surfing on South Australia's Fleurieu Peninsula. In March, what started as a normal day out with a couple of mates ended up with them walking back to the car park coughing.
I was taking my wetsuit off and I started looking around, and there was quite a busy car park, and I noticed like these guys were coughing, they were coughing, everyone was coughing here and there, and I was like, all right, something's really not right here.
What those surfers were experiencing was the start of an unfolding environmental disaster along South Australia's coast. They were breathing in algae particles that would soon create foaming tides and then wave after wave of dead fish species washing up on the shore.
On this fresh tide line here, you can see these abalone that have just washed up.
Anthony took to social media to document what he was seeing and started asking government agencies questions.
Petrel Cove,
I saw on social media that Anthony was looking fairly stressed and he wasn't getting a result. And so I sent him a message on Facebook, as you do, saying, hey, how are you going and are you all right? And he told me that he wasn't getting a response.
Faith Coleman is an estuarine ecologist who took up the algal bloom cause. Sent samples by Anthony and other concerned observers, she identified a microalgae, Karenia mikamotoi, an identification authorities later confirmed.
Blooms are natural, but blooms this big are not, and blooms that are this dominated by one species are not.
Scientists use chlorophyll as an indicator of the bloom, and these satellite images show it affecting a massive expanse of the state's coast, 70 times the size of Sydney Harbour. Dead sea life, including a great white shark, has been washing up on Adelaide's metropolitan beaches. At the same time, species like sharks and stingrays have been acting unusually in the shallows, and occasionally aggressively, like the case of a researcher who was injured by a stingray while studying the bloom. On Kangaroo Island, citizen scientist Catherine Lewis is one of dozens documenting fish kills on local beaches.
It's a very sad experience. I've never seen anything like it, but you want to do something about it, and the best to do is to support scientists in their research and find solutions.
Yeah, this beach has been hit really hard the last couple of weeks.
Gavin Matthews represents recreational fishers. He's also been documenting the bloom's impacts and says it went from a minor concern to a major one.
This is a gummy shark that died about a week ago. So to start seeing all these fish dying was pretty horrible. And in that first week, fish were dying in very large numbers. And yeah, we're now, 6 weeks in and it's still happening.
Just on this stretch of beach at Nepean Bay, there are dozens of rays washed up and rotting. Locals say that scenes like these are replicated across the island. It's not just the environment. The algal bloom is having an impact on business. Andrew Neighbour runs dolphin tours on Kangaroo Island, and this year his season is ending early. While dolphins have so far survived the bloom, swimming with them has become less appealing.
It's just the last few tours that we've run have been, the water's so manky, we can still run tours, but we're a swim tour, so it's starting to look pretty serious now, especially when you look here today at this one of the busiest boat ramps on Kangaroo Island. There's not a single boat here.
What have you seen out there? There's plenty of death and destruction.
Yeah, last Thursday down the yacht club there was big stingrays and eagle rays.
I noticed on the spit where we're accessing razorfish for burley to go fishing, the razorfish were alive one day, and then within 2 days we lost those beds. They were just died. The last 4 or 5 times out have not caught a fish.
Yeah, this is causing us great concern.
Derek Walker's cockle company, Kutiko, has so far escaped the bloom, but it's something he's watching closely for his business and as a local Narrandjeri elder.
It brings a whole heap of emotion and thoughts around this, because ecologically the decline ecologically in probably the last 30 years has been greater than any other time in history, and so that always concerns us.
It's likely this algal bloom is being driven by what's being called a marine heat wave, with water temperatures 2.5 degrees above normal. But some scientists warn that with climate change, events like these will become more frequent.
Globally, there's an increase in the intensity and frequencies of harmful algal blooms around the world over the last 20 years. We've often thought maybe down on the southern end of Australia we're immune, maybe a little bit more immune or protected from those impacts, but definitely we're seeing large shifts in climatic-driven shifts in our environmental conditions.
Anthony Rowland is still keeping watch on the beaches while he waits for the wind and storms that will hopefully break up the bloom. After that, it's just a question of how much damage has been done and how long it will take to recover. Leah McLennan, ABC News.